ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 29, verse number 6. So we read that Krishna played his flute to invite the gopis, and the gopis heard that nisamya geetam tadananga vardhanam brajastriya Krishna grihita manasa ajagmu anyonyam alakshamudyama sayatra kanta javalola kundala. So they heard the sound of the flute, which increased their love, because it was the uddipan vibhav for their love, for their sthai bhav, and therefore they ran to place where Krishna was, Javalola Kundala. So again, as I have been saying, that this is all description to describe what is Uttama Bhakti, specifically what is Vraj Bhakti. And Vraj Bhakti is Bhav. So it is a description of Bhav, and because Bhav, as we are seeing, Ananga Vardhanam. This Ananga means it has no body, it is invisible. Although it has a body also, Krishna is also Ananga. But when it is inside, it has no form. So how do we know? Only by manifesting it outside, and that is what is being described here. So the purpose is just to describe what is this Vraj Bhakti. It's like when you go to school and you learn alphabet, so you learn A for apple. So they put a nice big picture of the apple, and next to that they write a big A. So the intention is to teach the letter A, not the apple. And actually there is no relationship between apple and A, except that apple begins with a letter A. But as far as the fruit is concerned, no, there is no relationship. But that's the way to teach. So therefore Vyasa has a tough time. He has a very difficult time to explain what is Vraj Bhakti. So he is making effort, because explaining Vraj Bhakti is, as I said earlier, is like teaching music to a deaf person. So teaching Vraj Bhakti to us who have absolutely no experience of it is exactly like that. So he is using this example or this description of love between Krishna and gopis to explain it. And as in apple, of course, apple and A really have no relationship, but here there is a relationship, but still there is a physical manifestation in the form of gopis, and then there is a bhakti which is inside. And that inner feeling or inner bhav, that is what he wants to explain. So we should not always get deviated by the external thing. How old are the gopis? Krishna was 8, gopis must be this, gopis must be. These things are, it's not Vyasa's intention. That's why he doesn't mention anybody's name here. Otherwise you'll start thinking, well, he's there and she said like this. It's not a talk about that. Although we can also discuss that. And why is making these things like this? Because this is what people are going to be thinking about. That he's man, they are women, and he's attracting them. They're others' wives, they're running there, this, that. How old are they? How can he do this? So that's why he has to keep it young. That's why he has to have Krishna only 8 years old. It's not necessarily that he has to be 8. It is not necessary that gopis also have to be 8. That's not a point at all. But he has to show it because people are going to read it, and we have only experience of physical things. So we are immediately going to think like that. So he also has to protect and keep it safe. So therefore Krishna has to be kept young, so that we have opportunity to explain that there is nothing like that. Otherwise, how will you say if he says he is 16 and the gopis are 16, then what are you going to tell now? So this is what it has to. So then we say, well, Krishna is Bhagavan, even if he is 8, he looks like 16, even if he is 5, he is like this, and this. Because everything is possible for him. But the point is not that. Point of author is not to explain this age, name, form, appearance, all this. His point is to explain what is the bhav. Because that is what is, Bhāgavatam was written for that only. Otherwise Vishnu Purana also talks about Krishna-līlā and gopis, and so many other Puranas talk and give more details. Skanda Purana, Adi Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Garbha Samhita. All this also talk. So what is so special about Bhāgavatam then? Why Bhāgavatam is so much honored, respected, and we say, well, this is the topmost fruit of the Vedic literature. Because no other book is explaining the bhav the way it is being explained here and with this intention. The story is told there, and there also it may have the intention ultimately to speak of the bhav, but it is more in the story line. And therefore the names may be mentioned there. Like in Skanda Purana, the names of the gopis are mentioned. Here nothing is mentioned, so why the name is not mentioned? Because the intention of him is not to explain which gopi, how many gopi, and this gopi, that gopi, but to explain the bhav. This is the primary reason. And another reason you can say, well, Sukadeva Goswami, if he spoke the name of Radha, he will go into samadhi for 6 months. Or Radharani is the guru of Sukadeva Goswami, therefore he did not take the name. These are explanations for common people to explain them. They can understand this explanation. Real explanation is that he has no intention to speak that. Here only the pure bhava is being depicted. And how, when it is manifest, what happens, and how it is related with other things, the duties, dharmas. So that's what is being stated here or described. Yes.
May just mentioned in the Bandirvan Lila, Krishna was a little child, and Radharani was already a teenager, and she took him from Nanda Baba to protect him. And the next minute he was also a teenager.
And then he got married.
And then they got married.
Right.
So Krishna can be 8 years old 1 second, 16 the next.
Yeah, so that's therefore that. Now from that story, what do you learn from that story? What can you learn from
The age is not important.
No, I mean, okay, age is not important, but what did you learn spiritually?
That Krishna is unlimited, it can do anything.
Yeah, so how does it matter to us?
It's the bhav. That's what it is.
But from there you don't learn anything about bhav. What do you learn about bhav from that story?
But it gives me an experience, it satisfied my intellect.
In fact, it sounds like Rasa-bhas. Because she's carrying him in her lap.
Yes.
And then she's going to marry him. Is it not Rasa-bhas?
Yes.
So?
Okay.
Give the mic to him. So that's why this is the Amalu Purana. That's why Bhāgavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Purana Mangalam Yad Vaishnavanam Prem. There is no such rasa bhasa here.
It's not in Bhāgavatam.
No. This is pure rasa, not rasa bhasa. That rasa is already thinking, well, she is carrying Krishna in the lap and then she gets married to him. What is this?
This bhav, can we have only between human beings, not involving God?
Not between?
Suppose we exclude Krishna from this bhav mentality. Can we only have, with human beings we have prema and bhav?
No, human beings also have. You have not seen? You don't have a relationship with your parents, mother, father.
So we can exclude. So we can exclude God from this?
Yeah, but not this one. This is a spiritual bhav. This is not material. Here it is material and temporary. The way you looked at your mother and father when you were 5-year-old, you don't look at them same as now, right? And now especially when you come to spiritual life, you probably don't even look at them. So it is different. Krishna is Anadi and he has the same bhav for Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Even after lifting Govardhan, he has the same bhav.
Can we have them here in this world?
When you say have them means what?
How bhav, those bhavs?
Which bhav?
Spiritual.
You cannot have with human beings this. It is not possible. That's why I said here you have material bhav. spiritual bhav is with Krishna only. Comes from Krishna. You can only have it with Krishna and with devotees of Krishna. Not with, how will you have for material people? Because the object of this bhav is Krishna. You are the Vishaya, Ashraya, and he is the Vishaya. It is Krishna. Krishnanusilanam. Krishna tat sambandhi. Mastu anusilanam. Only Krishna and things related to Krishna, not independent. So here you can have, but they have to be related to Krishna. First you have to have for Krishna. And because Krishna encompasses everything, then you can have that. Not independently, no way. So we have other paths, we have other spiritual paths. We have the path of yoga, we have path of Gyan Marg. So they also have their mind and their feelings, etc. This is different. Here it is defined what is Uttama Bhakti or Ras Bhakti that is being described here. They will behave differently. Even with Krishna they have different relationship. So it is to be seen. Yes, Silas.
So the essence of the relationship between gopis and Krishna is bhav, as you have been explaining.
Actually, every relation in the material world also is only bhav. Otherwise, what is the relation?
Yeah.
If you have relationship with your with your wife or child, it is because of the bhav. The day you don't have bhav, you are gone. You separate. So relationship is primarily bhav only. The blood relationship also people lose if the bhav is not there. You may be somebody's parents or child, but if you don't have relationship, you do something against them, then they throw you out or they disown you. So it is, relationship is bhav. Dvishtho yadyapi sambandha shashti utpattistu bhedka. Bhed ke Shlishti, Sambandha or Anyanyam Ucharata. So this Sambandha is by Bhav only. That is the real Sambandha. That's why Krishna was born to Vasudeva and Devaki. But then he comes to Gokul. He himself tells, take me there. Why? Bhav. Stronger Bhav pulls him from there. So he is actually son of Vasudeva and Devaki, but he is known as Yashodanandan because of Bhav. Now we can prove that he was born to them and this and that. Those are stories you can tell in so many different ways, but the importance of this pastime is to show that it is Bhav which is more powerful than blood relationship. And therefore we can have that relationship with Krishna. It's a bhav. Silas ji.
Yeah. So what I wanted to understand and ask is that you mentioned earlier about the description that Sri Rupa Goswami gives in the Ujjvala Nilamani. I haven't read it myself, I admit, but as you were explaining, that contains some, let's say, details which to a common mind would resemble a relationship that are purely physical.
Yes.
As we have in the material world between the man and woman. So, in the context of that spiritual bhav, what was the purpose behind this, giving the detailed description of that kind of relationship?
So there are different purposes. The simplest purpose is that this is a sahityik way of explaining. So if you explain something, because it's like Bhāgavatam is a sahitya, it is Pibata Bhāgavatam Rasam. Sahitya is that which describes rasa. So there are two types of literature in Sahitya. One is called Lakshana Grantha, another is called the Kavya Grantha. Means one is that which gives the definitions. So Ujjwal Neelmani is the Lakshana Grantha. It's only giving lakshanas, various types, that various types of whatever, Sanchari Bhava, Janu Bhavas, and then when there is a separation, then 10 dasas are there, Dasmi dasa is death, and union, Vipralambha and Sambhoga, all this. So they have to describe that, and that's what he is describing. So otherwise the book will be incomplete without that. So that is the one purpose. The other purpose is that, as I have been saying, that the whole idea is to show the bhav. So now, what is there to show in this bhav, in this physical union? So the idea behind this, which is again very difficult to understand because we get focused on the physical, is to show that here in the material world, if people are having physical union, then they are completely absorbed in themselves. Because this is the complete height of being in yourself. It is kama, that's what kama is. The ultimate act of kama is physical union. And kama means self-centered. Kama is when you identify with our physical body and we think I'm the body, then only you can enjoy physical union, because if you don't identify with body, how will you enjoy physical union? So there are so many ways we are trying to enjoy in the material world. But that enjoyment is only through the body. But if you understand I'm not the body, you cannot enjoy. That's why when you come to spiritual life and if you make advancement, then renunciation, detachment is natural. It's a natural outcome of this vairagya, is a natural outcome of viveka. Viveka, or this sense of understanding that I am not the body, then it naturally leads to vairagya. So then obviously in that you cannot enjoy materially then. So that's why yehi sansparsja bhoga dukhyone evate adyantavanta konte nanteshu ramte buddha. So those who are Buddha, those who are intelligent, they don't take pleasure in these physical things. Why? Because they know that we are not the physical. They are anta yo antasthita anta arama tatha antar jyotirevacha. So they are getting pleasure from inside, not from external source, from the sense objects. So now why this is brought here? So this is to show that the highest absorption in the self, in your own bodies, when you have physical union, which means that in that state you cannot think of pleasing another person. Nobody has physical union because you want to please your partner. You don't do it because you want to please yourself. That's why the clash comes. This is the problem. Because both are selfish. This is the height of selfishness. So here it shows that even in that, they are not enjoying themselves, they want to give pleasure to the other. So what is the state of their bhava? That activity which makes you completely absorbed in yourself, even that cannot absorb you in yourself, and you are still anukullena Krishna Mashyana. This is the Vraj Bhakti. So that's why it has to be described here. That is the intention behind description. So in Sahitya also, even if you read books like Sahitya Darpana, etc., there are examples, but they look like same, as if people are having physical union. But that's not the purpose there also. Because remember that who enjoys the rasa? Rasa is enjoyed by those who are sahirdaya. samajika. And who is a sahirdaya? Who is in a very high state of sattva. That's
Surid.
what.
Surid.
Sahirdaya, not Suhrid. Suhrid is a friend.
Same heart.
Soban Hirdaya, clean heart. So therefore, in that state, one has that experience. Brahma Swad Sahodara. So Sattvat Sanjayata Jnanam, Sattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam. So there this rasa is also compared to as Brahma Darshan. And that is because these people are elevated in sattva. And if they are elevated in sattva, then physical union is a rajasic act. Physical union is a rajas. Sangat sanjayate kama. Kama esha krodha esha rajogun samudbhava. Kama is rajogun. So now one side we are talking about sahirdiyas, and then we are saying that they are going to enjoy the rajasic act. How does it fit? Sattva also gives you detachment, because jnana sangena vadhanati sukh sangena sattvat sanjayate jnanam, and jnanam gives vairagya. So how is these two things will go? So therefore it is to describe that their pleasure is in the bhava, and that's why Rupa Goswami said that vidagdhanam mitho lila vilasho yatha sukham na tatha samprayogena iti syadevam rasika vidu. That's why the rasikas, they say that their pleasure is not in the physical as in the lila vilas, which means relishing the bhav. That is the lila vilas.
So how you would translate this shloka?
Translating is very difficult. Which shloka?
This shloka. Because the translation is there in Bhanuswami is just insufficient. It's like doesn't really say what you're saying.
What does it say? It simply says that it is not as pleasing to them as Lila Vilas. That's what it says. That's what it says. That their pleasure is as they enjoy Lila Vilas is not from Samprayoga. Na tatha Samprayogena.
For them, you mean the Rasikas?
Yeah, obviously. Those who are not Rasikas, do we have to tell you about that? Why Rupa Goswami is going to make an effort to teach you about them? Okay. Sandeep ji.
So my question was that, like in this material world, this of course in our relationship it is that bhava, but this material bhava we can feel whatever the other person has. Look, even if one person conceals, but then it gets revealed in course of time. But this we are doing our sadhana to get that bhava for Krishna, but we are not having that feeling experience is not coming. So what is the problem?
So you should study Madhurya Kadambini, then you will understand. Because between the beginning stage and the feeling state, there are many other states in between. So it's not that you immediately get the bhav. To get bhav, you have to work hard. In between, there are so many other states.
But this material thing is natural, so you don't have to really.
That you have worked for many lifetimes.
Okay.
So you have worked very hard for these material things, many, many lifetimes. So you have perfected that. So now you think that the spiritual one you will get in few days. Yeah, it's a lifetime job. And you have to dedicate. For material thing you are dedicated fully 100%. For this it's like 5-10%. So correspondingly you can progress. Okay. So now let's read the sloka. Sloka number 6. So he's continuing to describe that although he said that they went there, but there are different gopis. Some were doing how they went or what they were doing before they went there. So we already read in the previous sloka that some were milking and others were cooking porridge, etc. So this is basically now to describe that how when bhakti comes, then one naturally gives up the dharma. In normal traditional Indian society, there were different type of dharma: jati dharma, kula dharma, lok dharma. Means duties related to one's social status. If somebody is kshatriya, they have certain duties. They were Vaisyas, so they have their certain duties. Then you have your family, kul dharma. So certain duties are followed according to your tradition. That one. Duties related to person as a male or female, stri dharma, patni dharma, pati dharma. So how all these things are given up. This is what Krishna says, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. So how gopis, they gave up all these dharmas. Sarva dharma, why he is using plural? Means there are more than one. He is not saying give up your dharma. Because there are varieties of dharmas. Dharma here means karma or duty. So according to our stage of life, we have different duties. Brahmachari, Vanprastha, Grihastha. According to our varna, we have duties: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. And then there are other duties in the society where you live, particular family. Kul dharmascha shashvata. Arjuna was also talking about that. So they gave up all this for sake of Krishna. That is the meaning. Immediately, without any deliberation, without any thought. So that's what is being described. So now he's talking about the loka dharma. Pariveshyantya stad hitva payantah shishun payaha susrushantya patin kashid ashnantya pasya bhojanam. So some of them were serving food to their relatives in the house. It's a system that's like now in modern times everybody sits together and eats, but traditionally ladies cook and they serve and then they eat afterwards. That was custom. So that's why it is said pariveshyante, that they were serving food. So they dropped that. So means their lok dharma or their particular dharma. Payanta shishun paya. Then there were some other who were feeding milk to the children. So they also tadhitva, they also gave up that. And sushrushantya patin, some were doing some service to their husbands. So their swadharma, that also they gave up. Kaschid ashnantya pasya bhojanam. And then some were actually eating themselves, they were having their dinner. So they also gave up that and ran. So which means that they gave up all their attachments. Attachment to this, attachment to that. First it was cows, etc., then family members, and then to their own body also. So giving up the food and going like that means that even attachment to their own self. So completely detached from everything. That's how they came to Krishna. So this is how Uttama Bhakti works. Anyabhilashita sunyam. That is the meaning, anyabhilashita sunyam, that there is no other desire, which obviously means that there is no other attachment for anything. Absolutely. And only anukullena krishnanasilnam. So it is not that varuni diggatam vastum katham endriyam avapniyat visyavast chittasya krishna bhakti sudorataha. So if our chitta is vishya-avishta, if it is absorbed in vishaya, sense objects, then there cannot be bhakti there. You cannot have both things simultaneously. Either you can have vishaya-avesh or you can have krishna-avesh. And these are antagonistic to each other. They cannot stand on the same platform. There is no samanadhikaranya. They cannot be co-located. So if somebody is attached to sense pleasures, then you know that bhakti is not there. It's very simple. It's easy to understand. No complications. So that's what is being shown here, apasya bhojanam. So they are not completely. And this detachment is coming because of Krishna Grihita Manasa. It was already said that their minds are captivated by Krishna. So that is the meaning of Janeti Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Dahetukam. So bhakti naturally leads to Vairagya. Just like Jnana leads to Vairagya, but that Jnana comes by so much of practice, and Vairagya also you have to practice. Here it is naturally, it happens. So that's what is being described now here, how it is. Janeti Ashu Vairagyam. Ashu means immediate. As soon as they hear the flute, then Ananga Vardhanam means bhakti coming up, Vairagya. Right? This is the commentary of Janeti Ashu Vairagya. Jnanam Cha Dahetukam. And they know their Jnana, the perfect knowledge about how to do the seva. So that is coming here. So evam kashanchit sayantanam mukhya karmasya parit... No, this is Vaishnava. Forget that. So there is not much commentary on this by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti writes a few lines only. Kashanchit avashyak daihik vesha tyagam aha limpantya iti dehi. This is 7. Where is the 6? Okay, on 6 he has only one line.
5 and 6 is combined.
Okay, no, he not here. Okay, just one line is there. So he says, Stri matra dharma tyagamaha pariveshyante tat pariveshnam patin ushnodak pradhanadina shushrushyante. So he doesn't comment much on it. He says that this is describing how these gopis, they gave up their stri dharma. This is the duty of a wife or a woman in the family. So they gave up that they were doing service or offering food, etc. Or service to husband means maybe they're heating up some water for the husband to take bath, etc. So they left that and went. So then verse number 7, Limpantyah pramrijantyonya anjantya kaschalochane vyatyasta vastra abharna kaschit krishnantikam yayuhu. So different gopis, obviously they were doing different things. So this is being described. So limpantya, so some of them were limpan. Limpan can have so many different meanings. Literally it means plastering, putting some layer on something, so applying something on their face, right? So what is it called? Cosmetics. So some were doing that, and pramrijantya anya, some others were trying to clean themselves or clean something else. Marjan means cleaning. Maybe they were cleaning pots, or they themselves were taking bath and putting some soap on their body. So they dropped that. and Anjan te kaschalochni. Some were applying Anjan, this kajal, collyrium in their eyes. So they stopped that. If they have put in one eye, then they dropped it. So they went with one eye without, and another one with. And Vyatyasta Vastrabharana Kaschit Krishnantikam Yayu. And some of them, they were dressed improperly, in hurry. So thing which is to be worn on top, they put it at the bottom and vice versa. So that's how they came to Krishna. So these are all again Sahityic way of explaining, as he will explain. This is called Vibhrama. This is one of the Anubhav. So as I said that there are Lakshmanik Granthas which define what are the Anubhavas, what are the Sanchari Bhavas. The definitions are given, and then when you write a play or a story, now you have to show them. You are not, in the story it will not come here, there, that this is the Uddipan Vibhav and this is the Vibhrama, or this is the Bhiti, or this is something else. It is not said, it will be just described, and if you know the Lakshanas, then you can understand. So that's how it has to be shown. If it is a good Sahitya, then it has to show all that in the story, in the description. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Kashanchid avashyaka dehika vesha tyagamaha. Dahika avesha tyagamaha. So here it is being described how they gave up their bodily attachment or their absorption in the body. Generally women are very fond of their body decoration. It is speciality of the female that they spend a lot of time decorating, dressing, taking care of the hair, eyes, face, everything. So this is one of their avesh. It is called Daihik Avesh. Yeah.
Oh, Daihik of the body.
Yeah. So this is to show that they did not have that. So for a female, it is very, very difficult to give it up. Only if you are a female, you can understand it. For man, it is difficult to understand. For a man, it will look, so what is the big deal if they did this? No. You will know how big deal it is if you are a woman. If you are a female, then you will know how it is important. If a woman has to go out, she cannot just walk out like that. She has to first go and see the face in the mirror and how I look. So it is important to understand that how the gopis, being females, they immediately gave up. So this is just to show the power of prema, the power of their bhav. All this description is to show that power, the strength of their bhav, their love. So again, I am saying it really does not mean that they were not like that. Then you can say, well, if they are going to meet Krishna, they must decorate themselves because they want to present themselves to Krishna nicely. So that is also there. But here now he wants to show the Vibhrama. That is the intention, that how the Anubhav acts like that. So that is what is being described. So limpantya dehe anulepam chandanadina kurvatya. So they were applying some cosmetics on their body like sandalwood paste. In the olden times, now much more facilities available. In the olden days here in Braja, what would be cosmetics available? Simple things, right? If you want to, now you have some creams, so they will put butter. Right? Fresh butter, rub it. It's natural cream. Then they call it facial cream. So this is also cream of the milk. And it is natural and it's very good for skin. You can read it in Ayurveda. You can eat it and you can apply it. Ayurveda says don't apply anything on your skin which you cannot put in your mouth. So So therefore all these chemicals, because if you cannot put it in your mouth, you cannot put it in your skin, because skin also eats. What you put in skin also goes inside, although we don't see it, but apply some oil and you know how it goes inside. So you put chemical cream on your face, it goes inside. And it causes trouble.
Death sentence to the cosmetics industry.
So therefore, fresh butter is the best cream. Okay, you can eat it and you can apply it. And it's also looks creamy also, and it's white. So therefore it says limpantya dehe anulepam chandanadina kurvantya. So chandan etc. they are applying. Pramirjantya udvartanadika kurva. Pramirjan means udvartan. Udvartan is like when you take shower, you apply. Now you apply soap. In the olden days soap was not there, so you had some like turmeric powder or some other herbs mixed together with oil, and then you apply it on your body, and then clay, and then you wash. Natural, again natural thing, you know. Very healthy for the skin. So that is called Udavartana. So kasanchid avega vashad deha avya vishesha parichayasya api bhavamaha vyatyastha. So now again saying that they had so much aveg, so much absorption, and they were in such a hurry because of their mind fixed on Krishna, that they forgot where is my hand and where is my foot. So what they wanted to put in their hand, like a bangle, they put it on the foot. So this is to show the avesh again. Again, don't think that they really did it like that. But this is how Sahitya explains, because the whole idea is to show the intensity of the bhava. So when somebody like Mahaprabhu will read it, he will fall into ecstasy immediately. Why? Because he is relating with their bhava. This will act like a uddipana for him. We don't have bhava, so we just read it. Doesn't do anything to us. Of course it's purifying, because it's description of their bhava, but purifying if we understand it, what is being described, then it is purifying. That's why he says later on that anyone who hears this, so Vrajvadubhir. So this is description of the intensity of their love. That's how it is described. So Vyatyastha, Vibhramakhyo Anubhavo Ayam. So this is a special type of Anubhav, it is called Vibhrama. So Vibhrama means confusion.
Bewilderment.
Yeah, bewilderment, confusion. You are bewildered, you are confused. What is what? And it's not that you know that I am confused. You don't know that. So therefore this is the lakshana, this is the definition which is being given here. So Vallabha Prapti Velayam Madanaves Sambhramat Vibhramo Hara Malyadi Bhusha Sthan Viparyaya. So he says that Vallabha Prapti Velayam, when it is time to meet your lover, means the heroine is going to meet the lover, and she is so much in avesh, madan avesh, means absorbed in the feelings of love, that there is a sambhramat, because she wants to go there quickly. When you want to meet your lover, you don't want to waste time, you want to be there. So sambhrama means there is urgent. And Vibhramo, so that is called Vibhrama. What is it? Hara, Malyadi, Bhusha, Sthan, Viparyaya. So when you place your ornaments, garland in wrong place, that is called Vibhrama. So that's what happened. So again here, so this is the definition, and now that definition is being depicted here. So those who know Sahitya, they understand what is being described. That's how they relish. And if they are Sahirdiyas, then it is exciting for them. Their own love becomes excited. That is the Sadharanikaran. So when they were doing this, then Tavaryamana patibhi pitribhir bhratribandhubhi Govinda phritamano ne nevartante mohita. So if you have a certain quality, then how do I know that you have that quality unless that quality is depicted? And quality is depicted when there is an opposition to it. Then your quality will come out. If you have physical strength, then how do I know how strong you are? If you are a wrestler, then you meet an opponent in the match and he is also very powerful, then we understand how strong you are. Otherwise we only know he is a wrestler, but how good you are, how great you are, we don't know unless you have a combat, unless you have a competition. So similarly, somebody is being truthful, somebody is being compassionate, charitable, all these things. How do we know this? How great is their compassion, how great is their charitableness, etc.? Only when they face certain situation, or how truthful they are, that even in some very adverse condition they don't give up truthfulness. Otherwise people are truthful, but some problem comes, they immediately tell lie to get rid of the situation. So therefore the opposition is that which make your quality expressed. So all these asuras came here, then we understood how great is Krishna. If the asuras had not come, how will we know? How would the Brajvasis know that Krishna is so great? And we will not know. If there was no Ravana, then how will we know how great is Rama? So therefore this opposition brings out good character. Generally when we face little difficulty, then we say, oh, why God is sending this to me? Why he is not protecting me? He says, Yoga Shema Vahamyam Namad Bhakta Panashyati. Why is he doing this? No, he is seeing how strong. Of course he knows, but wants to show your strength to others. And this is also how you increase your strength. If you are a sadhaka. They are not sadhakas, they are siddhas. For us, this is being described so that we understand how great they are. And for sadhaka, the difficulties make them powerful, stronger, because they transcend those difficulties. They are not bogged down by them. And then they become more confident. Otherwise we are saying, well, I am chanting, why is this? I am not feeling the bhav. Right? This is not only Sandeep is asking this, some others also ask this question. Why Krishna is not helping me? So he's not going to help you that easily. He's helping, but his way of helping is not the same as you think. So therefore he says, Tavaryamana patibhi pitribhi bhratri bandhubhi. So they were stopped. When they moved out from the house, then they were blocked, obstructed by their husbands, parents and brothers. So everybody came. You want to become a devotee, everybody objects to that or not? Right? Your mother, your father, your friends, brother, sister, everybody says, why are you doing it, right? Divya? Is it true or not? So nobody appreciates if you become a devotee. If you go to bar, fine, no problem. That's good. But you go to temple, why are you going to temple? Why are you going there? Why are you doing this? Everybody will ask you. You do some nonsense, no questions asked. You come to God, you come to Krishna, take to spiritual life, everybody turns against you. Everyone. So all the anarthas come personified. There is a personification of anarthas and invisible ones are also there. So first you get the personified ones blocking you. So this is how it is happening. Tavaryamana patibhi, pitribhi, bhratri bandhubhi, govinda pritatmano nanevartanta mohita. But it was not possible for their husbands, parents, brothers, friends, anybody, Facebook friends also, Instagram, nothing could stop them. So why is that? Because Govinda aparita Atmana. Their Atma was not there. Their Atma was stolen. Remember already Krishna sent the thief in the form of the song. So their Atma was already taken away by Govinda. Govinda is a nice word because Go means senses. Right? So the senses went to Govinda. And nanevartanta mohita. Therefore, it was not possible to stop them because they were mohita. You could not put any sense into their head. If somebody is highly intoxicated, is in moha, can you preach to that person? So their state was like that. They were mohita, muhi, muhadhatu, vachitte. They were not in the normal state of mind. They were what is called altered state. Right? So they were in the altered state of mind. So it was not possible to stop them. They left. So let's read the commentary.
They were in trance.
ननु तः प्रेम प्राबल्यात् सर्वपेक्षा तत्यजुरिति उचितमेव तासाम अपेक्षाम तत्पत्यादय कथम तत्यजुस्तत्राहता. So he is raising an objection that it is fine that they gave up everything because they had such intense love. And obviously that's what is being described. Prem prabalyat sarvapeksham tatyaju. They became detached with everything. They were not concerned about anything. But what about their husbands, etc.? Why is that they allowed them to go? Why they did not stop them? So he says, no, they tried to stop, but they could not stop. Taha kulvadva patibhi. So those which were married, they were stopped by their husbands. There were others who were not married, kulkanyascha, unmarried girls, ta pitradibhi. They were stopped by the parents or the brothers because they are in the house of the father. Api na nevartanta, but it was not possible. Varyamana api na nevartanta. Although they tried to stop them, it was impossible. Tatra hetu, why is that? Govinda iti bhaya lajjadi naam ka varta tasam atmanapi govindena apritatvat. So the reason is that Govinda aparita atmanam. So their self was stolen away by Krishna. Already it was said that their modesty, their fear, etc. were stolen. He says not only their modesty, fear, but even their very self was stolen. Therefore it was not possible. Mohita murchita iti. Mohita here means that as if they were in a state of swoon. Means they were not in the normal consciousness. Like when you become, somebody become unconscious. Murcha means, I don't know what is trance, but like you fall down on the ground, you become unconscious. So means you are not aware of anything external. So iti sutra sancharita panchalika eva. So as he gave the analogy of puppet, so they were as if puppets because they lost their consciousness. So if they lost their consciousness, how is that they were running? No, they were not running, they were being pulled by the string, by the puppeteer. That's why they are running. Mohita, that's what it means. Patyadibhir gat prananam api bhayadir dehanam pratishtha bhayadev anyatra sancharo na sahyate iti chet. So he says, he raises another question. Okay, even if they lost their consciousness, which means they were like dead body, but still the husband, etc. would not allow them to go because it is question of their honor. If their wives go somewhere else, even if there is no life in it, people will say, how is that your wife was lying there? I saw your wife lying there without life. So it will be a very big embarrassment. So why did they allow them, even if they are mohita? So therefore he says, bharyadi dehanam apratishtha bhayadeva anyatra sancharo na sahyate. They won't be able to tolerate this kind of dishonor. So then he says, satyam vipratipattiriyam yoga maya eva samahita gaya. He says this problem was solved by yoga maya. How it happened. So that's why in the very beginning, yoga mayam upashrita, remember that. So he explains that, tatcha samadhanam taya eva kalpitanam tatakshana eva tadrish gopinam swasva bharyadikatvena pratyayitanam swasva grihan prati pratyadibhi paravartanam eva. So what yoga maya did, that she created another gopi like the one which left and kept that gopi in the house. So the husband thought that, okay, I actually stopped her. When the husband, parents, etc. were trying to stop, so she allowed the original gopi to go to Krishna and created another duplicate there.
Duplicate gopis.
And then they thought that, okay, she is here, therefore they remain peaceful. Otherwise, even if they ran, then they will go behind them with a stick and then they will fight with Krishna. So how dare you calling our wife there? So nothing like that. So this is the end of this commentary. Any question to be asked? Yeah.
Could you please explain again this illustration with the cosmetics? So, did I understand correctly that they left aside the cosmetics, the anjana and the paste, creams and so on, and this illustrates their
intensity of love.
That they, that they lost this bodily absorption, or that they didn't have it.
Yeah.
This was the, okay.
Yeah. Can you get the mic here?
Oh, short question. And how, this was also part of this Vibhrama, or is Vibhrama only that one confuses?
No, Vibhrama, that is not Vibhrama. Vibhrama is only when you put your ornaments or cloth in a wrong place.
Babaji Bhagavati have a question, and is, when Krishna steals the heart of the devotee, in what moment it happened?
What moment? When he played the flute. Okay, Mohini. Mohini Uvacha.
I have a question. I heard in the past something like this, that there were gopis who also heard the sound, but they could not go to Krishna because they had children. Is this true?
Just wait, it is coming. You're moving too fast. This is coming after one verse. Anything else? Okay.